Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Ice dropping another little video for you. Now, this one might be a little controversial. It's not my normal video, but this first video is something my best friend sent to me, and it made me think about a lot of things. Now, I'm not religious, and I'm not gonna say I'm not, because I struggle with a lot of religion when it comes down to it, because I think there's so many contradiction when it comes to religion, and based on every religion interpretation, you could have Christianity and they're basically this preacher over here, he's Catholic, he's Protestant, and they have two different versions of what they believe the Bible means, the Bible says. So everybody have their own interpretation. That's why I will never wholeheartedly go in on any preacher and say that they're 100% right, because they're human beings just like the rest of us. Now, guys, like I said, this is just my opinion. You don't have to take it personally, but I have questions. I have questions I don't have answers to. And you say that God knew what I was going to do before I did it. He knew the plan of my life before I was even born. So if he allowed me to go ahead and ask these questions, how come you're the one that's willing to tell me I'm going to go to hell? Well, I see you down there. But at the end of the day, guys, like I said, this video was sent to me by my best friend, and she's someone that I respect more than 99% of people in this world. And she has her faith, and I would never take that from her. Because when it comes down to things, even when I don't agree with her, even when I say things that's out of pocket when it comes to religion, she keeps her faith, and she will always, hey, she's going to pray for me. And she'll pray for me to do better. But guys, like I said, this is just my opinion. Don't take it personal. But let's get into it, guys. It is what it is. Because at the end of the day, I ain't him.
I asked God, why do people walk away after I gave them everything? Why love me just to leave? And God said, even Judas sat at the table with Jesus, shared bread with him, and still betrayed him. Not every I love you comes from a loyal heart. I asked, then why let me love so deeply if they were never meant to stay? And God said, because I am love, and when you loved them, you mirrored me. David.
Now, at the end of the day, it's easy to tell myself that, okay, God said that, but I didn't get the message. This is all on faith. I didn't get the message. God didn't speak to me. I might tell myself that, yes, he spoke to me, but at the end of the day, I went through all of that crap. Let's just keep it moving.
David still played his harp even when Saul tried to kill him. Your love wasn't foolish, it was faithful. I said, God, I feel invisible, forgotten, left behind. And he replied, Joseph was thrown in a pit by his own brothers, left in prison for years, but I never forgot him.
And that's cool and all of that there, that he was thrown in prison, but I'm sorry, but I'm going through my shit. Tell me about mine. Don't tell me about Joseph. Tell me about mine. How come I still feel forgotten? You said you didn't forget Joseph, but at the end of the day, the point is, it's just like, okay, my neighbor roof is leaking. My roof is leaking, but I'm going to help him fix his shit while my shit is still leaking. Call it selfish or call it what you want, but we're human beings. What about me? Why do I need to go through that? I'm just saying, guys. I'm just asking questions. Don't take it personal.
Delay is not denial. I'm still writing your rise. I asked again, will anyone ever stay long enough to see the real me? And God said, the right one will see you through my eyes and not through their pain. The disciples ran when Jesus was arrested. But love came back 3 days later. Sometimes absence clears the way for resurrection. I whispered, then what do I do with all this pain? And God said, even Jesus wept, even he bled, but he still forgave. You're allowed to feel it, but don't build your identity around what broke you.
And that's the thing there. That's something I always said. Like, I know for me, this is for me speaking personally, guys. I ain't him. I ain't there yet. I know the Bible said you should forgive and all of that there. But at the end of the day, for me personally, you don't get to do shit you know you're doing to me and expect me to forgive you. I'm not there yet. You knew what you was doing and you still chose to do it to me, and I'm supposed to be the bigger person, and this is what the Bible teaches. I'm supposed to be the bigger person. But at the end of the day, no matter what anybody want to say, how does that benefit me by being the bigger person? You still did it to me, and there's other people that gonna do it to me. No matter how good I am, no matter how good of a person I am. But I'm just saying, guys, I'm just asking.
Finally, I asked, so you've been here the whole time? And God gently said, I was there in the silence. I was there when they left.
And there go my problem. You was there in the silence. You was there when they left. But as the rest of us, as most of us, how come you felt that I needed to go through that again? How come you felt that I needed to have another session of going through that same thing I just went through? And you stood there and you stay silent. But then I was taught that my Father loves me. My Father is going to protect me. My Father is going to want me not to go through harm, not to get hurt. But you're telling me that you stood there in silence and watched what I went through. And I'm supposed to tell myself that, okay, you have a plan. So how is it that I go through it 20 damn times and the plan still can't arise? Like I said, guys, don't judge me. I'm not telling you to lose your faith. I'm not telling you to go against your faith. You can have faith, but I have questions. And I have to ask. And I know for me, the way I look at it when it comes to faith, a lot of people use faith as excuse for their poor and bad decisions they make in their life. And it's easy for them to feel better about themselves to say that God has a plan. But I'm just asking, guys.
And I'll still be here when you rise again. If this touched something in your spirit, don't scroll. Share it with someone who's been hurting in silence. And if you still believe God is working in the dark, type, God, I still believe in your timing in the comments.
What they did to you was dirty, but God had a plan. See, they meant to.
And that's the thing. You hear it from everybody, the preacher, the faithful, everybody. And like I said, guys, I'm not an atheist, but I can't say that I'm fully religious because I'm the same person that 1 minute I'm like, thank you, God, because something good happened to me. But when something bad happened, I'm still the same person that asks, God, you don't think I've been through enough? You don't think I did enough? And you're telling me you're standing there watching me go through this. And even though I go through the same thing over and over and over and over again, I'm supposed to tell myself that God has a plan. I'm damn in my teenage years. I'm 20 in my 20s. I'm in my 30s. I'm in my 40s. I'm in my 50s. I'm in my 60s. And I'm still supposed to say that God has a plan. At the end of the day, we all here on earth. And I don't think that God would give me this life for me to just suffer, to tell me that I'll find peace in heaven. Heaven is supposed to be bliss, peaceful, no worries we got on here on earth. So I needed to suffer all through my time on earth just so I could go to heaven and get blessed and all of that there. But that's just my opinion, guys. Like I said, I'm just asking, don't take it personal.
To destroy you, but it became the very soil you grew in. See, that betrayal birthed your elevation.
And it's easy for us to tell ourselves all of that there. You had to go through this to achieve this, to elevate to this and all of that shit there. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry. You can't put me through the same shit over and over and over and over and over again and tell me that, oh, I ain't learned, so you needed to put me through the same shit. But even think about it. Even some of the most evilest people we see on this planet, because we all have free will, but even some of the most evilest people we see on this planet, they're the same one that turn around and say God had a plan for them. God this, God that. And this is the reason why I think that a lot of people, because Christians and all these religions, God gave us free will. And I think it's just an excuse for your poor decision, the decisions that you made that didn't work out the way you wanted it to work out. But I'm just saying, guys, like I said, don't judge me. God know my heart.
You wasn't buried. You was planted. Now don't let that go over your head. Straight up.
That's when God shows up more. When I can't figure a way out, when I can't see a way out. My faith has always told me that. So no, I never, I wasn't able to imagine the way out, but I knew there was a way out. I knew God had it.
God will put you back together in front of the same people that broke you. So if you're in a season right now where you're struggling, but you're working hard, you're trying to keep your faith, but it look like the blessing just ain't coming. It's not that it's not coming. God is late on purpose. He needs people present. He needs these folks to see how he shows up for you this season.
And that's exactly what I'm trying to say to you guys. I think people use faith as an excuse. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having faith. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think people, because think about it, even people that do some of the most evilest things in life to other people, they'll tell you they have faith. But I think people use faith as basically an excuse for their bad decision, for what they did. So when something goes wrong in your life, oh, God has a plan. It's the devil. God needed you to go through this. God needed you to go through that. But I'm asking, why do I have to keep going through it over and over again and you expect me to just say, God has a plan? No. It's easy for you to put in your mind, put in your head, because you said to me, all you Christians, all you religions, you said God gave us free will. Free will doesn't come with stipulation. I gave you free will. If you're saying that God gave me free will to make good and bad decision, that's it. Good and bad decision. Now, you know that I was going to make mistakes along the way, but I still had free will. But it's easy for us to tell ourselves that the decisions we made, whether good or bad, it was God's plan. So that's excuse the bad decisions we made. I'm just saying, guys, like I said, don't take it personal. I'm not trying to turn anybody away from their faith. I'm not trying to argue with anybody. I'm just giving you my opinion on what I think and what I feel, what I struggle with. Like I said, I'm not a Christian. I'm not religious, but I'm not an atheist. In some part of me, I believe in something higher than all of us. Call it God, call it Buddha, call it Krishna, whatever the hell you want to call it. But I think that there's something higher out there. Is it a man in the sky? I don't know. Is it energy? Is it whatever the hell it is? I believe in something higher. Do I think that he excuse all our everyday life and the shit we do to each other? No, I don't. But we have to, because we have to tell ourselves that our bad decisions and the things we do to each other, it's a plan of a higher power. Why we had to go through that, why we made that decision, why we accepted that. No, free will. I'm just saying, guys.
He needs your family to see it. He needs your friends to see it, your homeboys, your homegirls, your ex, your haters. He want all of them to see how he show up for you. Your blessing is coming. Your glory is coming. But understand, sometimes a breakthrough requires a breakdown. Okay, some of our biggest failures, our biggest heartbreaks, our biggest disappointments.
And think about it, guys. When shit is good, thank you, God. When shit is bad, God, why did this happen to me? God, why am I going through this? And when things get a little bit better, we would say, God, thank you for this. I know the devil was against me and all of that. Now, guys, I believe in good and evil, but not in the sense that you believe in. I believe all of us got evil inside of us. And I believe all of us got good inside of us. But it's free will. It's a decision. Whether I want to be a good man or I want to be an evil man. Whether I want to do good things for the world, for the people around me, or I want to do evil things to the people around me. That's what I believe in. But that's just my opinion, guys.
Can lead to the most beautiful blessings. Let go and let God. Embrace the struggle. Be still. Sit in that shit. And trust that God is moving and working, even in the middle of a storm.
When God has something for you, it doesn't matter who stands against it. If it's meant for you, God will move someone that's holding you back away from a door and put someone there who will open it for you. God says in Jeremiah, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Press on with pride and press on with purpose and appreciate what God has brought you through.
I believe.
And like I said, I think faith is a crutch, is an excuse that people use for their bad decision, for their evil decisions that they make in their life. So it's easy for them to use faith to say, God had a plan. God know I needed to do this. God know I needed to do that. But I'm just saying
that God always got bigger plans for me, regardless of what I go through. So
even the most evilest people on this earth use God as a crutch. They'll never say, I got demons in me. I believe we all got demons in us, constantly trying to get us to do good or do bad. But it's a choice, free will. But even the most evilest people will always say, God this, God that, whatever.
Purpose and appreciate what God has brought you through.
I believe that God always got bigger plans for me, regardless of what I go through. So I know that and I understand that and I deal with that shit accordingly, but it take a lot.
Every dark moment that you've ever had, is preparing you for someplace God is taking you. Somebody taught this to me a long time ago. He said, Steve, in order to get to the life of your dreams, you're going to have to learn how to get comfortable being uncomfortable. When you hear people say all the time, I don't want to do nothing that I'm not comfortable with, this person's in trouble. Because whatever your comfort zone is, if you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you'll fail. If your comfort zone is this big and you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you'll fail. In order to succeed in life, you have to step outside of your comfort zone.
Facts.
But I want to tell you something about yourself. All of you are equipped to live outside of your comfort zone.
Facts.
God has proven it to you your entire life. I'm going to show you.
Free will. Just because you make bad decisions and it didn't go the way you planned, the way you wanted, doesn't mean that God made you do this. God wanted you to do this. God wanted you to go through this. No. I've been always taught He gave us free will, right? So He gave us the will to make our own decision. But it's easy for you to say, oh, God wanted us to go through this. God wanted us to go through that. No. You made your own decision. You decide you ain't gonna follow the word. You ain't gonna listen. You ain't gonna do right from wrong. And you gonna do whatever the hell you want to do. And when bad shit happened, you said it's the devil or God needed you to go through this and blah, blah, blah and all that shit there. Whatever. Free will. That's all I'm saying, guys.
Something that He's done for you that you haven't really paid a lot of attention to. See, a lot of people are afraid to jump. A lot of people are afraid to take chances. A lot of people are afraid to put things up for risk. And you shouldn't be. Now, you can be afraid, but you should learn how to go ahead anyhow. See, because let me show you something about yourself. For all the bad days you've ever had, for every day that you thought you wasn't going to get through, for every period in your life you did not see no way you could come out on the other side, your track record for surviving them bad days is 100%.
And that's a fact. Your track record, your bad decision, the decisions you made. It ain't God's plan. You have free will. You made some bad damn decision, but it makes you feel better about yourself to say that, oh, God needed me to go through this. God needed me to handle this. God needed me to understand this. The man that you chose, the woman you chose, even though you saw the sign, you got the damn message. Everybody else saw the damn message except you, but you wanted to do what you wanted to do. And then when it didn't go the way you wanted it to go, it's easy to make yourself feel better about you by telling yourself, oh, God sent them in your life. God made them do this to you because you needed to understand that. You needed to feel that. No. You made the decision. You made the bad decision.
You have survived every single one of them. Your track record for surviving bad days, y'all, is 100%. And that's pretty good. You can't name one bad day you ain't got through. When you lost your mother and you felt like your whole world was crumbling, because I thought I was going to die, man. When my mama left here, boy, let me tell you, that's the worst I've ever felt in my life to date. I'm 62 years old. But the day they told me my mama was gone, when I had to pull the plug on that machine, and I had to tell that to the doctor, it was the worst period of my life. I thought I was going to die. I survived it. I want you to think about all them bad moments you had that looked like you wasn't gonna make it. And then I want you to ask yourself, well, why did I make it? Well, it's real simple now. It's simply because God ain't through with you yet.
I need you to understand, when things don't work out, that's a blessing too. That job that you didn't get, that relationship that fell apart, that opportunity that passed you by, it wasn't rejection, it was protection. And you don't see.
And like I said, guys, exactly what I said. It's easy to say God had a reason. God made you go through this. God made you this. God made you that. God made you do this. No, your decision. Because a lot of the time, if that's the case of what you're saying, God gave you the sign. He gave you the message. He told you that shit wasn't for you, but you wanted to do what you wanted to do. You think that you could make it better, you could do differently than what you said God had planned for you. And then when it ain't work out, it's easy for you to tell yourself that, oh, God had his reason. God has a plan for you. Because what? That makes you feel better about yourself for your poor ass decision. And I'm guilty of that too. So I'm not bashing anybody. I'm not telling anybody that, oh, I don't make. No. I made poor ass decision even when the signs was there in front of me. But it was easy to make myself feel better about myself by saying, oh, God needed me to go through this. God needed me to go through that. No, you knew that nigga wasn't shit. You knew that woman wasn't shit. They showed you. Everybody else around you saw it, but you refused to accept it. Now, at the end of the day, if you believe in what you're saying, God had a plan and God needed you to go, how come you wasn't willing to listen when he was telling you they ain't shit? Run. Get away from them. They're not good for you. No. But you choose your own way. Free will. Free will. Because that's what I was taught that was given to all of us. So if you believe in what you're saying, you're contradicting yourself. Because free will is free will. You made your own decision. You went against what you preaching. God was showing you. He gave you all the damn signs, but you chose to ignore them and did what you wanted to do. And then in the end, it's easy to make you feel better about yourself to say, oh, God made me go through this because I needed to go through this. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm just saying. But like I said, don't take it personal, guys. I'm just making you look at yourself, because these are the things that I struggle with my damn self. So I'm not judging any of y'all. Believe me, I'm not.
In the moment, you think you're losing. You think life is punishing you. But later you realize what you wanted so bad was never meant for you. You would have settled. You would have lowered your standards. You would have stayed stuck in places that were never supposed to be your final destination. Some of y'all are crying over doors that God bolted shut for a reason. Shit, I know I have. You wanted them to stay, but they were only meant to teach you a lesson. You wanted that situation to work, but it was draining you. You wanted that friendship to last, but they were.
And she said it. You wanted, even though you saw the signs. If you believe in what you're actually preaching to everybody else, that God had a reason and God will show up when you need him, how is it that when he showed up and he was showing you, that's not what you needed? That's not good for you. You weren't willing to listen. Because what? You wanted your decision, free will. Most of us, man or woman, We know when people ain't shit. We know when a woman ain't good for us. We know when a man ain't good for us. We see the sign. Everybody else around us see the sign. But you wanted to do what you wanted to do. And then when it didn't work out the way you wanted it to work out, or you hoped it worked out, it's easy to say, to excuse your free will and excuse what you went through by saying, oh, God had a plan. God wanted me to go through this to learn. But how many damn times did you go through that? I'm just saying. You may not want to ask yourself these questions, but I'm going to make you ask yourself these questions. How many signs you saw? How many messages you got? You said God may not show up when you want him to show up, but he show up when you need him. So how is it that all those times he was showing you, he was sending someone into your life to tell you that, look, this is not a good person. This is not who I want for you. You weren't willing to listen. You did whatever the hell you wanted to do. But this is the reason, guys, that I said people use faith as an excuse to make them feel better about themselves for their poor decision. And that's my opinion. And I'm guilty of that. I'm not judging anybody. I'm guilty of doing the same thing.
Never cheering for you anyway. Every loss you thought broke you was really making room for something better. So stop forcing what isn't meant for you. Stop trying to revive what's already dead. Stop chasing things that are running from you. What's for you won't require you to beg, shrink, or suffer just to keep it. So trust the closed doors.
And that's another thing. What's meant for you is meant for you. But you can't see it that it's not meant for you because you want it so bad to be for you that it's easy to tell yourself that God needed me to go through this. You had 11 million friggin' signs saying walk away, get away, run, hide. But you wanted to do what you wanted to do. And then to make yourself feel better, you tell yourself, oh, God wanted you to go through that. God put that person in your life. How is it that when the signs are there, you can't see it because you goes against the sign, you goes against God that you said will always show you. You go against all of that for what you want. But as soon as it don't work out because you went against God and the signs he been showing you, oh, he had a plan. Stop fooling yourself. Free will. You made the decision. You funked up. I'm just saying, guys.
One day, you'll look back and realize that losing it was the best thing that ever happened to you.
Okay. But you missed all the signs telling you from early out. But you chose to go through that pain. You chose to deal with all of that shit. You chose to take that hurt. And now you want to tell yourself that, oh, God wanted me to run the 100-mile meter, the 200-mile meter, or whatever the hell. But he showed you at the starting line. But you did what you wanted to do and you didn't care. Everybody else around you was showing you, telling you. God that you said you believe in, that will always give you a sign, was showing you before you even started the race. But you didn't give a shit. You did what you wanted to do. But now you want to use his name and say, oh, God wanted me to do it. God needed me to go through all of that shit there. Screw that. You did what you wanted to do and you got exactly what the fuck you wanted because you had the sign from the get-go, but you weren't willing to listen. And that's all it is. But guys, like I said, I'm not here to offend anybody. Like I said, a lot of this stuff, a lot of this question is things that I struggle with and I want to know. I want to understand. And this is just my opinion. But at the end of the day, I think that a lot of religion all across the world use faith as an excuse to do evil things. Use faith to do things that goes against them. Use faith to excuse their bad behavior. Use faith to excuse the evil they do. And that's just my opinion, guys. But like I said, give me a like, give me a share. This is just my opinion. I'm not trying to turn anybody away from their faith. Like I said, for me, I struggle with these things. These things that I say are questions I ask, questions I have. And if you say that, oh, I'm not faithful enough, I'm not religious enough, and all of that, at the end of the day, I was taught. And y'all are the same people that told me that God had a plan. He knew what I was going to do before I even do it, before I was born. So if what I'm asking, what I'm saying is so wrong, tell me this. How come he knew I was going to ask and bring up these topics and say all these things before I was even born, but he never did anything to stop me? He didn't stop my mom from giving birth to me. The truth is a truth, no matter what. But like I said, at the end of the day, you may not like what I have to say. It may make you think. But at the end of the day, I ain't him. But like I said, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, I see it. I'm going to say some shit. Now I might do a little bit of foul language in between. But if that's what you focus on, it goes to prove my point. You're the problem. But until next time, guys.
What's one thing life taught you?
Don't beat yourself up over past mistakes. Might as well save that energy, because you're most likely gonna fuck up again in the future.
Well, go home. That's all. Bye-bye.
I know how it feel to wake up fucked up. Pockets broke as hell, another rock to sell. People look at you like you's the user, selling drugs to all the losers, mad Buddha abuser. But they don't know about your stress-filled day. They be on the way, mad bills to pay. That's why you drink Tanqueray, so you can reminisce and wish you wasn't living so devilish. Shit, I remember I was just like you, smoking blunts with my crew, flipping over 62s, cause GED wasn't B.I.G. I had to get P.A.D. That's why my mom hate me. She was forced to kick me out, no doubt. Then I figured out, Nicks went for 20s down south. Packed up my tools for my raw power move. Glock 19 for casket and flower moves. When Trump's trying to stop